We have this essence which is called abundance. And I was very embarrassed to make the abundance essence because, again, being in my straight left brain state, it sounded like Dr. John's snake oil, right? It's like, oh my God. And actually, it wasn't called abundance originally. And I don't think I'll tell you the details of how the abundance essence came about in this particular talk, but I will tell you that I've used it now for 25 years or more, and people have had phenomenal results. And I'm not talking about winning the lottery. I'm talking about their health being transformed, perhaps their life being saved. I mean, I had this guy in my practice who had prostate cancer when he was 68, and he didn't die until he was 81, and he was pretty healthy and also doing what he wanted to do while he was engaged in that living process until he died. I've had people heal relationships, find relationships, get different jobs, better jobs, all kinds of things. But I was so embarrassed by the idea of this essence because it really wasn't my idea to make this essence. It was, again, well, I'll just tell you briefly. I was consulting a channeler who channeled this being called Abraham to also confirm the meridians and the chakras. I was pretty uptight about these meridians and chakras. I really wanted them to be right? So anyway, I was doing these sessions with this woman called Shyla, who was in town here and channeled this entity. And at some point during this one session, I was told that I had to make this prosperity essence, and I'm going, you're talking to somebody out there. I'm not making a prosperity essence, right? And oh yeah, prosperity essence, and it's going to really help so many people, and it's da-da-da-da-da. So anyway, I did make the essence because that seemed to be part of my contract of going to the session, right? And it sat on my shelf for 5 years. And in fact, it wasn't until 1991 when I was writing my final exams for acupuncture and my provincial licensing exams and stuff like that. It wasn't until then. And I was hosting the second International Flower Essence Conference, like all in, April, May, June kind of thing. The conference was going to be at the beginning of June. And I was like on the line for tons of money because we'd hired the university to organize all this stuff. It wasn't until then that I even took the essence myself. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm memorizing points. I'll just memorize points and I'll take some drops. And I'll memorize some more points and I'll take some more drops. And the conference came and went. The board exams came and went. All that stuff happened, right? And it got to be around August, and the university sent me a check. A huge check. Like a phenomenally huge check. And I was, for somebody that had just spent 3 years in school and not working and stuff like that, it's like, oh my God, I can publish my book now. So I really put my attention on publishing the first edition of Energy Medicine. It was really nice. And so I told my friend David Drysdale, I don't know if any of you know David, but he used to own Instinct on View Street. Wild Scottish guy, fabulous guy. Good friend. He's up on Cortez. Anyway, now. But I was telling David about it. David said, oh, God. He said, what did you do? I said, I didn't do anything. He said, well, you must have done something. Because, like he's all in crystal. Well, I took these drops. What drops? Can I have some? And so he took some of the drops and something shifted for him. So then I told some of my clients and blah, blah, blah. And then it got to be like, it's amazing how energy and information spreads, okay? Next thing you know, I'm getting a call from this astrologer in the States saying, when are you going to start selling this abundance essence? And I'm going, what abundance essence? The one you've been giving people. I said, I'm never going to sell it. Why not? She said, because it's not a healing essence, I said. She said, what do you mean it's not a healing essence? She said, people are killing themselves because of lack of love, lack of money, lack. And I'm going, oh. Well, I'll think about it. So at this point, we already had a balancer oil to go along with the balancer essence because I really wanted people, like especially with balancer, which was such a a stress reliever kind of essence, right? I really wanted, I immediately envisioned baths, where people could soak in it. And that's where I really love the fragrance. You put the drops in the bath and you're like, oh, this is very nice. I'm being balanced, right? Only it's not like, then it's not the emergency situation. It's like I'm constantly choosing to, be balanced, right? And so when this issue came up about abundance, like, well, maybe if I make an abundance oil as well, it won't sound so weird and quirky and stuff, right? So I made the abundance oil, and it's like, well, maybe if I write an abundance program so that people really understand what I mean. So at the end of the day, I wrote this 22-day abundance program so that people could really engage in a process of transforming their life if they chose to. So that they didn't just think that they could take drops and go out and buy a lottery ticket, right? Or take drops and go to the nearest singles bar and meet the love of their life, or take drops and go up on a mountain and find God, right? I mean, that was, like, I really wanted this to be not flaky.